Episode of Beta Unboxed. I'm your host Noelle, coming to you live from our San Francisco studio. And today it is Monday, so of course we've got to bring you guys another coffee product to get your week going. We've got the Sablier coffee and tea tumbler that we're going to be talking about today. And Sablier is a really innovative company. They're redefining the coffee making process as an experience, and they're doing it in an incredibly sustainable way. This product is going to really help us, transition from paper cups to using, a tumbler that you can reuse and that you can actually make your coffee in the tumbler on the go. And here to tell us more is Justin, our general manager over at our Palo Alto location. Good morning, Justin. Have you had your coffee this morning?
Good morning, Noelle. And no, I have not yet, so I am looking forward to this.
Yeah. Definitely, me too. Well, let's get into it so we can get you some caffeine. Tell me first and foremost why the Sablier was created.
Yeah, that's a really great question to start with. So the Sablier was created, and kind of what you touched on in the beginning was just to kind of change the way that we traditionally make our coffee. A lot of us are on the go. So now with the Sablier, it's literally a two-in-one. You make your coffee, you're able to drink it, you're good to go. And the other big piece of what they do is to kind of take away, it's more sustainable. So you're not using paper cups anymore or pouring them when you're on the go or anything like that. Everything is done in here. So you're kind of helping the environment as well.
And what would you kind of compare it to? Is it like a typical drip coffee? Is it more of a pour over?
Yeah, so I'd say it's a little bit of both. And that's kind of the unique thing here is one side of it is where your coffee grounds go. You pour over your hot water and then flip it for that. So it's definitely comparable to a pour over.
And pour overs, I'm not, too much of an expert. I love them, but they seem like they take quite a bit of time. So how quick and easy is it to make, a pour over style coffee in the Sablier?
Yeah, so in the Sablier, it only takes probably a few minutes, depending on how full you want to fill it up to. Traditionally with other pour overs out there, there's so many components to it, right? You have the piece that goes over the cup, or you have the paper mesh filters, you have a wire mesh filter, and there's just a lot of moving pieces that require you to kind of pay attention to all of that. So here, again, it takes only a few minutes when those other ones can take, anywhere 10 minutes plus.
Definitely. And if you're, like me and, you're not a coffee connoisseur, so to speak, I typically go to my morning coffee shop and get my pour over there, which can really add up at the end of the month. But without further ado, let's have you kind of demo the product and show us how it works.
Yeah. Okay. Really excited. All right. So as we talked about before, it's literally your two-in-one to go, right? So the very fun thing about this is I'm going to pull the lid off here first, and let me show you guys the little mesh filter that comes inside. So this is the filter that is actually inside of here. So you don't have to worry about going out and buying everything because it's literally a reusable filter. So that guy just lives right up in here, okay? And what I'll do for the demo here is I have my little pre-measured out packets, and I'm going to do a little medium roast here just to kind of get me going for the morning. So you just pour it right in here, and it's perfectly measured right now for this. No, I wish you could smell this because it smells
oh my gosh,
like heaven right now. So
I'm so jealous.
All right, and next, all you need to do is pour your water, okay? And now you're probably wondering, like, how are you able to tell how much water it is, like how big your, how much of a cup you're at? In the side here, there's actually a little clear transparent piece, and there's a little red line. So you want to fill up to that red line, and that's how you know you have a full cup of coffee, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and start now. I'm going to go ahead and pour my water. All right. Now let's just let it drip. Again, it should only take a few minutes. It's already dropping down. I can see it here. All right.
And it's just a couple of minutes, like you said, right after you pour the water in. And tell me, are you using warm water, hot water? What, what's kind of the temperature?
Yeah. So I'm using hot water right here. Warm water would probably be best, especially if you were doing coffee, kind of gets a little bit more flavor out of it. Again, if you were doing tea as well, it definitely is able to seep it a lot better. So the nice thing here too, so I know we've been talking a little bit about coffee, but if you are a tea lover, you can actually put your loose leaf teas in here because of the mesh filter. It won't just run through. So that's a really, really great option for some other people too.
That is great. I'm a coffee and tea lover, love loose leaf tea. And while it kind of sits there for a second, so you mentioned those travel packets. Can people use, coffee that they already have in their pantry?
Yes, and that's the nice thing. You're not restricted to these, pre-made packets. If you have your favorite coffee brands out there, you are more than welcome to use it. Just go ahead and grind it up. I'd say a little medium fine grind would be good for this because the mesh filter is pretty thin. So yeah, use any of your own, or you can use these pre-measured out packets.
Awesome.
All right, Noelle, I think we're good now with this. All right, and now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and seal this off. And before I keep explaining here, I'm going to show you that.
Ooh.
Now you literally just flip it. And
okay.
Take this off, and I got myself a good cup of coffee here.
And that's it?
Try it out. That's
you
it.
just flip it?
That's it. It's so easy.
Oh
I
my
love this
gosh.
guy. It's amazing.
Little taste test.
Really, really good.
So good.
Yes.
And so easy. And like I said, saves you time's going to save you money. You can do this on the go. All you really need is access to hot water.
Exactly.
Which is awesome. And tell me a little bit more, Justin, about the shape, because it's kind of unique. It's very different from other tumblers that I've seen out there.
Yes. So the literal translation of Sablier is hourglass. So that's kind of where the design came from. It ties hand in hand with the name and the design, so it's really unique. It also helps when you're actually holding onto it as well. So the portion where the cup is for your coffee is actually the larger part of the hourglass. So when you're holding it, it just makes it a lot easier. This will fit in most cup holders in the car, so that's really great as well. But yeah, that's where the hourglass Sablier meaning came from.
And I have a question. So if you kind of have it right, like you've flipped it, do you have to keep it right side up then? Or what happens if it tends to flip back the other way? Are you going to get grounds, in your mouth when you're drinking your coffee?
That is a really great question that I get all the time. And the answer is no. And so the really unique thing here, I'm actually going to go ahead and flip it back. And so now my grounds are on top. So when I went ahead and sealed it, it actually pinched the space between so that nothing will fall through. So when I'm drinking my coffee, I'm not going to go ahead and get grounds in my mouth or anything. So if I am keeping this maybe in my bag and it is moving around, tumbling around, I'm not going to have to worry about it spilling or coffee grounds or loose leaf teas or anything like that running through.
That is amazing. And I imagine that the cleanup is pretty easy too.
Yes, super simple. That, like I showed you in the beginning, that mesh filter just comes right out. Pour your grounds out, give it a rinse. Same thing goes for the cup size as well.
Awesome. And what colors do you have there? I'm loving that kind of that coral pink one that you have.
Yeah, this one. So
I love that
comes
one.
in 4 colors. Yeah, so we do have this really fun coral color right here. We have this nice gray, this really nice blue. I'm a fan of the blue one. And then we have this cream one that I was demoing right here. So 4 options.
4 options. Are they all available on beta.com?
Yes, they are available on beta.com, and they are available in 16 of our beta stores. And if you're familiar with our Forum by Beta stores, it's also available there as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Justin. And last question for you. What is the price point on this guy?
Yes. So yeah, the Sablier is on sale for $49.95. And as I showed you too with the packets, the little pre-packets they have here, these are actually $8.50. So one thing to note as well, they're doing an exclusive in-store promo right now. So if you buy a Sablier, you actually get 1 pack of their pre-packaged coffees or teas for free.
Ooh, great deal. Amazing. Well, thank you, Justin. I'm going to let you go and have your moment with your coffee, and you'll be ready for your day. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. And thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back here again at 2 p.m. with an episode of Beta Unboxed. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll see you then.